Mill from Philadelphia. I recently saw a Val Venus shoot. He was talking about Melina and John Morrison and how Morrison was wrong for disrespecting Trish Stratus. In this interview, he talked about how Morrison was pretending that Batista and even Mike Knox were not screwing Melina right in front of his nose. Can you go into detail about what you might know about this? And does it remind you of Candido, Sonny, and Shawn Michaels from back in the day? It does a little bit. It does. Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch were together. I think they may have even been like high school sweethearts. I mean, they were together for years and years. And, they came over to WWF, and Shawn Michaels and Sonny had their little fling going for many months right under Candido's nose. And I don't see how Candido didn't know about it, and he did nothing about it. I don't know that he ever confronted Shawn. He certainly never kicked his ass, which is what you think. If my girlfriend was screwing somebody else and I found out about it, that'd probably be my first instinct. And he let it slide, and guys that were around in WWF in that era said they lost respect for Candido for that, and it's kind of a similar thing with Morrison. I heard the stories about Batista and Melina. I think Batista might have even admitted in his book that he and Melina had a thing going for a while, and Morrison just, he didn't do anything. And he probably did lose a lot of respect from guys, because if they knew their girlfriend was screwing Batista, they probably would have confronted Batista, and Morrison didn't do that. Maybe he was worried. Maybe he was worried, he feared for his spot on the roster. I don't know. So I see the similarities there. I never heard of Melina and Mike Knox. To me, that's a new one. The idea of Melina being with Nux in the menagerie is just a visual I can't see. But back then Mike Knox was actually in pretty good shape. For a big guy, he's not exactly in good shape these days compared to his WWE run. But I never heard of that before, so I don't know. The stuff about disrespecting Trish, that goes back to that tag match at WrestleMania 27 when they brought in Snooki. And I think Morrison was upset because, first of all, they brought in Snooki. And they tagged her up with Trish Stratus, who had been brought back. And I guess Morrison felt like, here's what I think happened. And I have no idea. I'm just guessing here. But I'm looking at that situation. And it's obvious that Morrison wasn't happy. If you watch the end of the match, it was Morrison, Trish, and Snooki against Dolph Ziggler, Michelle McCool, and Layla. And, not Ziggler, Morrison, very cold to Trish at the end of the match after they won. Snooki got the pin, they won, all their hands get raised. And I remember Trish went to high-five him maybe or hug him or whatever. Morrison just would not even make eye contact with Trish Stratus. It was so obvious. And what I think happened, I'm not even sure that Morrison was that upset with Trish. But, he was dating Melina at the time. Melina probably was not happy that she got left out of that match and got left off the WrestleMania card. I think she was off the card. Probably felt like that spot was being taken up by this outsider who's not full-time anymore. That should be my spot. She probably was jealous, and she probably was upset. And would talk to Morrison about it, and Morrison probably was like, I agree, honey, I'm with you 100%. And that's probably his way of defending his girlfriend. He probably felt the same way that she did. That would be my guess. But that was the whole disrespect issue with Trish. It kind of stems from that whole thing.